Islam is one of the most fascinating religions in the world, and obviously in this modern world, it is essential to understand Islam and its historical foundations. So we're talking today about how the religion started, its origins, the importance of Muhammad to the faith, and just kind of some of its early days and exactly where it came from and kind of the background that helps set the context for the rise of Islam. So Islam is going to start in the area that we call the Arabian Peninsula. Specifically, it starts in the country of Saudi Arabia, but it's going to spread fairly quickly to other regions as well. Here's another shot in the Middle East here. That's the shots from space on the left. On the right, you can look at some of the countries. So, like I said, this unit, we're kind of moving to the east. You can think about like Constantinople up here, but we're starting in Saudi Arabia and on the Arabian Peninsula. Now, back then, and basically today as well, it's a harsh climate to live there. It is a place that it's pretty much desert, and there's not much else. I mean, obviously you have some water if you're near the coast. And the Arabian Peninsula is formed mostly of what we call nomads. If you either live in the city or you're a nomad. And with the nomads, their fancy name are like Bedouins. The nomads go and they travel from place to place, basically trading. They may travel from place to place, kind of going and herding, basic sheep, something like that. And the town of Mecca was a city, and it was a big city back then, even before Muhammad. It was kind of the religious center. Basically, the religion was kind of a polytheistic religion, left over from some of the earlier Middle Eastern places. And it was also an economic center. They had a big shrine there called the Kaaba, which will come into play later. That was kind of an important thing, but Muhammad's going to kind of transform the use of the Kaaba. And it was ruled by a family called the Quraysh. And you'll see with this unit, sometimes they're spelled. Things, when we're translating Arabic to English, that you can spell it different ways. So we kind of have the different translations there. They're the ruling tribe of the day. They're kind of the family that runs things in Mecca. They're wealthy traders. Now, who is Muhammad? Muhammad is known as the Prophet of Islam. And Muhammad is somebody who goes and is kind of, in a sense, the founder of Islam, the way you want to think about it. Now, one misconception that we need to talk about is that Islam is very, very similar to Christianity and Judaism. They trace their roots back to Abraham. There are obviously differences between the three, but the belief in Islam is that Muhammad is the final prophet, and after this, there's really no more prophets. He's born in Mecca, and he's actually an orphan growing up, and he eventually becomes a wealthy trader. He marries a rich lady and becomes, involved in business and fairly wealthy. Now, the famous date, in 610, he's going to convert to monotheism. He basically goes and starts to have what's called revelation, meaning, there's something divine is revealed to him. He tends to go in a cave, and what happens, the angel Gabriel supposedly comes to Muhammad and reveals what will later be compiled into the Quran. Gabriel essentially tells Muhammad, recite, starts speaking. And these words from the angel Gabriel are called the surah, and they are compiled, so the words from Gabriel to surah, they're compiled into the book, which is called the Quran, which is the holy book of Islam, which is basically the words that were revealed to Muhammad. Now, the Quran takes a while to obviously go and create, and Muhammad, gets it through retreating. He also, sometimes it's described that he actually kind of goes almost through seizures when he's receiving the words as well. And he begins to go and compile basically this new faith. His first convert actually will become his wife. Now, Muhammad goes, and the order of the day in Mecca, they made a lot of their money off people practicing the polytheistic religion. And Muhammad goes and he starts to tick some people off because he says, there is only one God. And he is basically forced to flee the city of Mecca and go to Medina. And this event is known as the Hijra. The Hijra is the event where Muhammad is forced to go from Mecca to Medina. It is actually the start of the Muslim calendar. They start their calendar there. And at this point, they begin to start to pray towards Mecca too, which is a trait of Islam. Well, he goes over to to Medina for a time, and kind of as his followers go, he's obviously like created a movement at this point. And eventually he goes back to Mecca peacefully. They want him because he's taken a lot of his power and influence. He goes back to Mecca, and Islam really begins to go and spread at that point. And just ending right here, this is actually kind of cool. This is the cave in Saudi Arabia where Muhammad went and received his initial revelation from the angel Gabriel. So Muhammad basically goes and gets the revelation from Gabriel, gathers followers, makes the trip, and then from Mecca to Medina, and then comes back to Mecca, and we'll keep on going from there.